وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Yeah. So inshallah we will continue in Tafseer Surah Maryam. And now we come to ayah number 41. Inshallah we start. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. واذكر في الكتاب إبراهيم إنه كان صديقا نبيا إذ قال لأبي يا أبت لم تعبد ما لا يسمع ولا يبصر ولا يغني عنك شيئا يا أبت إني قد جاءني من العلم ما لم يأتك فاتبعني أهدك صراطا سويا يا أبت لا تعبد الشيطان إن الشيطان كان للرحمن عصيا يا أبت إني أخاف أن يمسك عذاب من الرحمن فتكون للشيطان وليا. Just to refresh the ayat before, so Surah Maryam is what revealed when the Prophet Muhammad SAW to send a group of Sahaba who are difficult to practice Islam in Makkah because they was under pressure, tutor and all this. So before they leave, Allah revealed Surah Maryam. Why? Because now they're going to Christian country. The king is Christian. So you have to have knowledge about Christianity, about Jesus alayhi salam. It is very important. Yeah? When we talk with somebody, you have to have knowledge about the person. Then Allah start with a story about Zakaria alayhi salam, who was old man, his wife was barren, but in the end Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed them with the baby they call Yahya, John the Baptist. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala start with story about Maryam alayhi salam, when the Jibreel appeared to her and blow the spirit and she's pregnant and she delivered Maryam, right? Then continue with story about the birth of Prophet Isa alayhi salam, So now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starting a new chapter, like new story, but still have connection, right? Because, the surah was revealed in Makkah and the Quraysh was rejected, all what Muhammad, they rejected the message of Muhammad sallallahu. So to entertain Muhammad, he said, "Oh Muhammad, this is not new. Look at your father Ibrahim. He also faced the same problem with his people. He's start with his father, because even his own father, Rasulullah, his own uncle, right, was on tribe against him. So there's also Ibrahim alayhi salam before, right? واذكر في الكتاب إبراهيم إنه كان صديقا نبيا. Sham, are you there, Sham?
And mention in the book, the Quran, Abraham. Verily, he was a man of truth, a prophet. In this account, Abraham's contented, patient, and gentle character is shown in sharp relief. We see these aspects of his character in his approach and language. They are also clearly apparent in his behavior and how he responds to his father's overbearing attitude. We also feel how God has bestowed his grace on Ibrahim, compensating him for his father and people, all unbelievers, with goodly offspring that beget a whole nation, which has its generous share of prophets and saintly divines.
The Bible says, "Wadkur fil kitabi," and remember. Wadkur means remember or mention. Remember when Allah starts story about Maryam, was Wadkur fil kitabi Maryam, right? Kitab Yamin in the Quran, Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim is not Arabic word, it's Ibrani word. The ulama have different opinions. Say Ibrahim, people said from the word Abun Rahim, the, the, the kind father. Rahim means merciful. Right? He's so kind, right? Especially to his son. Another meaning of Ibrahim means he's the traveler, because Ibrahim always in traveling. He was from Iraq, he went to Jerusalem, he went to Mecca and all this, right? But even he was so busy, but he always, took time to visit his son in Mecca. Imagine on that time there's no airline, he's mostly walking, right, or riding camel, right? Innahu kana siddiqan nabiyya. Innahu, indeed, he is no doubt siddiqan. In Arabic, the word sadaqa mean that when sadaqa mean approval, I agree, a truthful, right? A sadiq is the truthful one, but siddiq is like khalas, impetuous, because like Abu Bakr called Siddiq, not Sadiq. Sadiq can be friend. Siddiq, that means they're truthful and believable, no comparison. Remember in the hadith said, if you compare the iman of the people in the world in Abu Bakr is heavier. They call Siddiq, right? So Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was Siddiq, especially when come to submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? He's Siddiq. Imagine he was in the desert one that day, and Allah asked him to have circumcised. Done. If you and me said, Allah, I am too old, man, can I start with my son? It's not Ibrahim. He didn't even question Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also have excuse, you are in desert, there's no knife, right? But Ibrahim, he tried to find something. And then he was waiting long time to have a baby. Allah blessed him with the baby, Ismail alayhi salam. What Allah asked him to do? Kill your son. He could ask Allah, wait a minute, what's the wisdom behind this? He just did it, right? Siddiq. Now he's truthful with his belief, right? So therefore, if you read the Quran, Allah put the word as-sadiqin is after the Prophet. أولئك الذين مع الذين أنعم الله عليهم. Those people will be with those people that Allah blessed them. Minan Nabiyyin, the prophets, was Siddiqin, and the Siddiqin, and then Salihin, right? That's the level. So Siddiq, that man, the one who, what in their heart, what in their mouth is the same. His heart, his action is a scroll, the Siddiq, right? إذ قال لأبي يا أبت لم تعبد ما لا يسمع ولا يبصر ولا يغني عنك شيئا.
When he said to his father, "O my father, why do you worship that which hears not, sees not, and cannot avail you in anything?" It is with such a passionate appeal that Abraham addresses his father, trying to guide him to the goodness God has taught him and to which he has directed him. His appeal is an endearing one, stressing his position as a loving son. He asks him, "Why do you worship something that neither hears nor sees and can be of no avail whatever to you?"
So the first lesson here, the ways, the methodology, how Ibrahim talked to his father. In Arabic, he said, remember when he said to his father, right? The ulama have different opinion. It is his biological father or his uncle. Majority is his uncle. His name Azar. He is the producer of God. So he made God, right? Made of wood and something rock, right? And he said, Ya Abati. In translation, you didn't say it, oh my father, but oh my father in Arabic called Ya Abi, Ya Walidi. Ya Abati, that means to show your respect, your honor, your love. That means, oh my beloved father, my respected father. Right? And it's very important that when you do da'wah, never insult the people that you do. Even Nuh alayhi salam, his people was stubborn, right? But he used to always said, Ya qawmi, oh my people, I am one of you. Right? So here, Ibrahim alayhi salam, remember that his father is what? Mushrik, kafir. But he treated him so well. Imagine our fathers, our mother. They are Muslim. They wanted us to be good, right? No, here, Allah give example. Even your father is not Muslim. Still be kind to them. Because the problem, something we have some young people, before maybe he's not practicing, no, he become religious. And he know that his parents not practicing yet. So he approach his parent like, you are kafir, so no respect, nothing. No. If you become religious, have to show that, look, I become religious, my treatment will become better. I have many here, American, mashallah, he become Muslim, and then in the beginning, the parent was against them, but because after they read Quran, how the Quran always put parent after the Allah after the, put Allah and then the parent, always like that. So, and the parent was amazed, right? Some of them in the end they become Muslim. So now the Ibrahim, try to have argument. So why worship something that you cannot hear, you cannot see, right? Even if you worship someone that can hear and see, like human being, for example, but still they're limited. How far he can hear, how long he can see, right? Imagine this one is what? A stone. No ear, no eyes, right? And no benefit you. Subhanallah, right? But so he tried to, because one day Ibrahim alayhi salam, sometimes he asked him to bring the wood, to bring the rock, and give it to him, and he meet God. So Ibrahim one time he like pushed one of them and broke. Ibrahim, look at what happened. You broke the God. I said, Dad, he cannot defend himself. He tried to his mother to think, right? يا أبت إني قد جاءني من العلم ما لم يأتك فاتبعني أهدك صراطا سويا.
O my father, verily there has come to me of knowledge that which came not unto you. So follow me, I will guide you to a straight path. He follows it with a statement that he does not make this claim at his own behest. Rather, he makes it on the basis of true knowledge that has been vouchsafed to him by God to set him on the path of true guidance. There's nothing wrong with the father following his son when the son has a direct recourse to a higher source able to give him true guidance. In this way, the son is the one who follows the right way, leading only to what is good.
So again, he used the word Ya Abati, or my beloved son, my beloved dad, His Excellency, Inni Qajjani. I received knowledge. He didn't say, I am alim, you are ignorant. He said, Allah give me knowledge, right? And even if he said that, they said, Allah, Dad, I have more knowledge than you, right? Because always the parent want, their children better than him. The only one that not have jealous and envy is the parent. The brother is something, he's smarter than me, so he's still, but parent, they are proud. My son, my daughter, they graduated, they're very happy, right? No one said, oh man, My son better than me now. Never, right? So here said, Dad, Allah give you knowledge, He didn't give you. So follow me. Right? Yeah. And also we learn from here, this is important to follow the alim, the teacher, right? Because a lot of people know, because knowledge you can find a lot in the Google, right? To become Sheikh Google. So it just, and he, no, knowledge has to be through learning, through, right? Because if somebody, for example, he studied medicine for 20 years, and then you need surgery, are you agree with him? I know everything, man. No, you have to study in class with a teacher. You know, do all in the book, and then nobody will agree. You know, he do the surgery for you, right? يا أبت لا تعبد الشيطان إن الشيطان كان للرحمن عصيا.
O my father, worship not Shaitan, Satan. Verily, Shaitan, Satan, has been a rebel against the most beneficent, Allah. Having shown his father the fallacy of idol worship and outlined the source of guidance he received, which is the cornerstone of his appeal to his father, Abraham makes it clear that the way followed by his father is that of Satan. His own aim is to guide his father to the way acceptable to God, the most merciful. He fears that his father may incur God's anger and thus become a close friend of Satan.
So again, he said, Ya Abati, my beloved father, La ta'budi shaitan, don't worship Satan. The word worship in the Quran not mean like you pray, you bow down. Worship mean also just you follow them. You know, when the Quran was mentioned that the Christian you worship your rabbi, your priest, right? So some Christian will become Muslim and said, Ya Rasulullah, we never worship them. And Rasulullah isn't when your priest said this is haram, this is halal, you follow them? I said, yeah, that's worship too. Right? So worshiping Satan, it means you follow Satan idea. Because what between Adam and Noah, everybody just worship only one God. Right? So during before Noah time, this is teachers. Allah mentioned in the Quran their names. Right? لا تذرن ودا ولا سواع ولا يغوث ويعصر. That's the name of the teacher. So when those teacher died, Shaitan came to them. Hey, no more teachers now. Teacher died on. What I have to do in order to remind you, so you not forget their teaching, you have to build their statue. Right? He didn't say worship them, statue. So then when you're going to do something wrong, he said, no, it's my teacher said no. That was a good idea. So they built the statue of their teacher, Buddha, Suwa'a, Naso, Yabutho, in the market, in their houses, right? And it was work. So Shaitan very patient. So when this generation died, now the children came. So Shaitan came to the children. You know why your dad rich, your dad this and this and this, your mom, because they worship these gods. So they starting worshiping the statue. Right? Then Allah said Nuh alayhi salam. And Nuh need almost 1,000 years to change the people. Right? And in the Quran, every parent, when they're going to die, you know what their wasiyah, their will? Don't leave your gods. وَلَا تَذَرُنَّ وَدًّا وَلَا سُوَاءً. That's amanah. Subhanallah. Right? So be careful to make bad initiative. Right? And following Shaitan. Maybe you buy something statue from Bangkok. It's a statue of Buddha. For you, might be just decoration. And maybe you die and your son believe, my dad, I think because of this. Right? So one day somebody going to move something. So no, my dad put it there. This is karma, this is right? Yeah. Inna shaytana kana lirrahmani asiya. Right? Because shaitan, they always disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. يا أبت إني أخاف أن يمسك عذاب من الرحمن فتكون للشيطان وليا.
O my father, verily I fear lest a torment from the most beneficent Allah overtake you, so that you become a companion of Shaitan, Satan, in the hellfire. He fears that his father may incur God's anger and thus become a close friend of Satan. It is Satan who tempts people to worship idols. This means that whoever worships idols is in the same position as one who worships the devil himself. Satan, it must not be forgotten, is a rebel who disobeys God in every way. Abraham warns his father against incurring God's displeasure, for if he does, he will become Satan's friend and follower, and so liable to God's punishment.
Yeah? Again, use the word, mashallah, ya abati. Oh, my dear father, I worry, right, that Allah will punish me. But look at here, said the word almost, he didn't say min Allah, right? Min ar-Rahman. Wait a minute, punishment and Rahman. Look like it's not clock, right? This was the very clock. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you know, sometimes a father, little bit firm, his son didn't listen, out, stop it. This is sign of what? Love. Or the son wants to play in that area, and the area is dangerous, right? And the son continue walking there. Son, don't go there. And he's still going, son! And you're screaming. That's sign of what? Love. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, if you read Surah Ar-Rahman, start with Ar-Rahman, and then Allah talk also about hellfire beside Jannah. It's so scary. That's the meaning of Rahman. Because when you love, when you're kind to people, you don't want that people clapping there. And sometimes you need it. Like for example, somebody you have a friend, and then suddenly his leg was cut. Said, who did it? Doctor. Oh, okay. Why is okay? Because if the doctor didn't cut it, he was going to die. The disease will continue, right? Yeah. You just said, oh man, this doctor butcher, right? No, that's always Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here used the word, not Allah ar-Rahman, right? If you follow Shaitan, then Shaitan become the friend. And it's the goal of Shaitan. Shaitan wanted us to be his friend forever, you know. And also we learn from here, all the calamities, the suffering people in this world, because what? They're following Shaitan. Disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قال أراغب أنت عن آلهتي يا إبراهيم لئن لم تنته لأرجمنك واهجرني مليا.
He, the father, said, do you reject my gods, O Ibrahim? Ibrahim, if you stop not this, I will indeed stone you. So get away from me safely before I punish you. Abraham's appeal made in the most compassionate language, cannot, however, find its way to his father's hardened heart. The father retorts with rejection and threats. Are you renouncing my gods, Abraham? His father's answer was harsh, arrogant, and threatening. He considered Abraham's rejection of idols to be impertinent. It was a crime for which Abraham deserved a cruel punishment, that is, death by stoning.
So sometimes, you know, you use all your wise, you use your wisdom, you use good methodology, you prepare very good, but something not convince people. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, he used adab, etiquette, you know, soft word. He saw his compassionate, his love. That's not good. Because guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? It's also for us. Man, I used everything, man. That's your job, right? So therefore, why in the judgment, the prophet will come, some have million followers, some thousand of them, some may be 100, some may be 10, some may be 5. Some prophet will come and say 0, but Allah will give you certificate. You're successful, right? Because your job what is to convince. And also people sometimes take time. Rasulullah, the only one that I offer Islam and accepted, Abu Bakr. Umar 5 years. Abu Sufyan 20 years. Right? Yeah. So because if you always try to deliver the message and people all accept immediately, you become arrogant. Look at what I did. Right? Something just right. So now the father said, "You don't like? Oh my God, Ibrahim! If you don't stop, I will stone you." Just warning. Subhanallah. And look at how Ibrahim reacted. قال سلام عليك سأستغفر لك ربي إنه كان بي حفيا.
Abraham said, "Peace be on you. I will ask forgiveness of my Lord for you. Verily, he is unto me ever most gracious." Abraham, however, does not allow anger to dictate his attitude. He does not lose sight of his dutifulness to his father. Hence, he continues to address him with respect and compassion. Abraham makes it clear that he will not respond to the threat, nor will he indulge in futile argument.
No, look at how harsh his father. He said, قال سلام عليك. Salam. Not only that, I will ask Allah to forgive you. Subhanallah. Because God is so kind, so hafiz. Right? This is Allah SWT teach us here how you deal with somebody who reject you. Somebody who be rude at you. Right? Always respond evil with good. Right? Bad treatment with good treatment. So the Muslim don't have something like revenge, anger, right? Like in Surah Yasin, Allah SWT mentioned about when they're going to kill 3 prophets, right? وَجَاءَ رَسُولُ رَجُلٌ مِّنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ. A man come from the corner of the city. So he heard 3 messengers came to the city. Nobody will return. Not only that, they're going to kill them now. And he rushed. Allah SWT said, Rajulun, a man. He didn't mention even the name. Rasulullah mentioned his name, Habibun Najjar. Habibun Najjar, that's the name. And very interesting, after that, if you read Surah Yasin, Allah mentioned about this name more than the 3 messengers. Because this man, he's not alim, he's not scholar, but he felt that the duty of dawah also is in hand. Right? So he ran, and then he saw 3 people already going to kill. Right? And then he said, Qala ya qawmi. He said, hey, I'm one of your people. Right? Those messengers come not to collect donation, they come here to give guidance. Right? I said, you too. The way they kill, on the time they put them in the hole, like ditch, only their head. And before they kill them, they skin it. So therefore, why one of Sahaba, one of Sahaba, I forget his name. When Muslim was under pressure, people tutor them. I said, Ya Rasulullah, are we not on the right path? Why we are like this? Where's Allah? Something like that. Rasulullah said, be patient. People before you used to put on the ground, and then they skin, their hair before they died, and then they cut it. And no, they are stay. Be patient. They will come on time, right? So Rasulullah mentioned it. Right? So now died. Imagine Habib, no, he is died, he meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? Qila dukhulil Jannah. He said, welcome to Jannah. Right? No, he meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. God, did he say, said, God, don't forget God. Look at how they treat me. You know, how they kill me, how they kill your prophets. Right? What he said? Qala ya laita qawmi ya'lamun. Said, I wish my people know. Bima ghafarali. Right? Waja'alani minal mukramin. I wish my people know that Allah forgive me and Allah honor me. Subhanallah. So he didn't have what? Even after their treatment, no even revenge. Even he died already, Allah please tell my people. He asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring him back alive again. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, I make already the rule. Nobody die, come back alive. But Allah mentioned in the Quran, their story. Right? And this is very important lesson. Right? Yeah. Like Abu Hanifa. Abu Hanifa, he had a neighbor. Every night he was to play guitar and drinking and like imagine you have neighbor always big noise, right? But Abu Hanifa never called the police or no. So one night he didn't hear nothing. And he asked, another neighbor said, oh, he was drunk and put in the jail. And he rushed to the prison. When the chief of prison he saw Abu Hanifa, Imam, what are you here? Why are you here? What are you doing here? Said, I have never. He said he's put in jail. That's your neighbor. I release him because of you. So on the way home, the neighbor was surprised. I said, you? I said, the one that I bother you every night. I said, but you are my neighbors. Allah. And then he became his best student. And never do it again. Subhanallah. Yeah. Malik bin Dinar. One day he was in the street and people were drinking, but he make dhikr. La ilaha illallah. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. His mouth full of wine and drink. That's not good. He took water and he cleaned his mouth and took him to his house and let him sleep there. Sleep, honest. In the morning he woke up and said, where are you? I said, this is Malik bin Dinar took you here. Malik bin Dinar was have class. Oh. So one day he went to the masjid and he saw people was praying and crying. And he said, look at was he. Right? And then at night Malik bin Dinar have a dream. He said, yeah, Malik, because you clean his mouth, because you're not happy somebody mentions Allah name with this. I said, Allah clean his heart. Subhanallah. Yeah. وَأَعْتَزِلُكُمْ وَمَا تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ وَأَدْعُو رَبِّي أَسَىٰ أَلَّا أَكُونَ بِدُعَاءِ رَبِّي شَقِيًّا.
And I shall turn away from you and from those whom you invoke beside Allah. And I shall call on my Lord, and I hope that I shall not be unblessed in my invocation to my Lord. Thus Abraham left his father, his community, and homeland, as well as their idols and worship practices. God, however, blessed him with offspring and gave him what was better than that which he had sacrificed.
So now after he said, Salaam alaikum, I make dua for you, he said, وَأَعْتَزِلُكُمْ. I have to leave you. It's in Arabic, right? So sometimes when you feel that will be affect you, if you continue there, maybe your iman become lower. This is the important that we have to do in Arabic, to withdraw, right? Don't associate with them, right? Because sometimes, maybe somebody hang on with bad people, Don't worry, man, I'm strong, man. Yeah, now you are strong. Soon you will change. That's all mentioned in the Quran, people something, right? But still said, Adu Rabbi, I'm going to make dua, continue to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? I never lost hope. Right? But this, before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make a rule that you cannot make dua for non-Muslim disbelievers. So Ibrahim does not have like not, sometimes there is a Sharia, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala changing. Like, for example, before, like Prophet Lut wife is kafir, no wife is kafir, on that time you can marry. You can marry with the non-Muslim. Right? So Ibrahim, when he make dua, on that time, he's still allowed to make dua. But after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, no more dua for them. Right? So what happened when you give up something for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Right? فَلَمَّا اعْتَزَلَهُمْ وَمَا يَعْبُدُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ وَهَبْنَا لَهُ إِسْحَاقَ وَيَعْقُوبَ وَكُلًّا جَعَلْنَا نَبِيًّا.
So when he had turned away from them and from those whom they worshipped besides Allah, we gave him Ishaq, Isaac, and Yaqub, Jacob, and each one of them we made a prophet. Isaac was Abraham's son, born to him by his wife Sarah, who prior to his birth was childless. Jacob was Isaac's son, but he is mentioned here as though he were Abraham's own son, because he was born during his grandfather's lifetime, growing up under his care. Thus, he was close to his grandfather, just as though he were his own son. He learned faith from him directly, and he taught it to his own children. Both Isaac and Jacob were prophets.
So Ibrahim alayhi salam, he gave up, his uncle. He gave us the luxury life because his uncle rich. If Ibrahim stayed there, he can. If he didn't care about the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he can stay there, right? But he gave up, right? When he gave up, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed his wife who was barren, right? Sarah alayhi salam, after Ismail. So we learn from here, when you give up something for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will substitute with something that better, right? Rasulullah SAW, he loved Makkah so much. Before he left Makkah, he looked at Makkah like this. You are my beloved land to me. If my people did not drive me out, I will stay. So give up his land. Whatever. What Allah replaced. In 8 years, he returned. He returned as victorious. Not only that, in 20 years, not only Makkah, Roman, Persian. Right? Yeah. And to give up something is not easy, because sometimes you have hobby, you love it so much. For example, you have job, but it's not really halal. Difficult to give up. You have to pay bills, right? But if you give up, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guarantee will still be better, right? There is a story about Yusuf alayhi salam. Imagine Yusuf alayhi salam, he was young, and the one who seduced him, what? Beautiful woman, and also his master. Everything is there, and nobody there. Yusuf strangers, but he gave up for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What happened? He became man number 1 in Egypt. When they married with that woman with the halal way, because after that the kings died. Nice. There is Abdullah bin Umar. One time he went to the village. He saw a shepherd, young boy, maybe 8, 9 years old. So he wanted to test him. Hey, young boy, can I buy one of your lamb? I'm sorry, it's not mine. It belongs to my master. Don't worry, just tell him a wolf came and ate one of the. Look at what the boy said. Fa'ain Allah, where is Allah? So Umar is so happy. Abdullah, he said, where's your master? So he took him there. Is it your slave? He said, yes, I want to buy him. Right? This is all your cattle? I said, yes. So he bought it first. And I said, look, you are free, and it's all is yours. He said, look, the result when you give us something for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is in dunya. Imagine what? In the akhirah. Subhanallah. Another story, there is young man, used to be like, join a gang, he was thief, and he wanted to change his life. So he went to the masjid, this masjid in Damascus called At-Tawbah. There's a teacher there. Sheikh, I want to change my life, I want to be good. Can I stay with you? I said, yeah, you can stay with me, but with one condition. I said, what? You have to be patient. There's no food here, only death and water. If you can do that, something people give up, but no. Okay, Sheikh. So stay. Study, man, alhamdulillah, pay tahajjud. Right? So there is 2 days, there is no food. Even dead. Imagine you're hungry. And remember his father did teach him, if you are in urgent, in emergency, the haram become halal, right? If there is no food, except pork, you can eat pork, just you survive. Man, I am hungry now. So he went to the top of the masjid. You know, in Baghdad, on that time, masjid connected with the houses. If you go to the roof, you can jump like this. So the third house, he smelled something. So he went down, he went to the kitchen, he saw a pot, he opened it, there was 2 eggplant. You know, imagine you're hungry, 2 days no food, he just picked it, he bite it. While he bite it, astaghfirullah, man. I become thief again. So he stuck with him. So he put back and split it, and he left. When he entered the masjid, the imam was sitting with, there is an old man and a lady. He said, come here. I said, yes. Are you married? I said, no, sir. We'd like to get married. She said, Sheikh, I cannot even have money to buy the bread. I said, look, this is her uncle, and this is woman, her husband died. They just got married and then died, right? And her iddah finished, and she was lonely here. She's from far away before. So she needs somebody to be with her, protect her. You have house, everything. Okay. So after Akad Nikah, so she took her to her house. There was the third house. And they went inside. His wife said, are you hungry? I said, yeah. So when she went to the kitchen, she screaming, what? I think somebody was here. He said, it was me. You? And then he told his story. And he said, Subhanallah, Sadaqa Rasulullah. But Rasulullah said, when, you know, when you give up something for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will substitute better. No, this Allah substitute with what? 2 eggplant, no, it's used. And you have wife and you have house. Subhanallah. Yeah. وَوَهَبْنَا لَهُم مِّن رَحْمَتِنَا وَجَعَلْنَا لَهُمْ لِسَانَ صِدْقٍ عَلِيًّا.
And we gave them of our mercy, and we made for them a mention, i.e., reputation of high honor. We bestowed on them of our mercy, verse 50. This is a reference to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, as well as to their offspring. They were all recipients of God's mercy, which is mentioned here as the most bounteous gift granted by God in the general ambience of the surah. Furthermore, it was the quality of God's bounty that compensated Abraham for the loss of his people and homeland, giving him reassurance in his new solitary environment.
Not only that, since I give them, so not only Ibrahim, no, right? And then his descendant, right? So we have who? We have Ishaq, and then Yaqub, right? And all the prophets, among them prophet, Musa, and Yusuf, Musa, Dawood, all the prophets, Sulaiman, alayhi salam, right? this is the result of his siddiq. Remember that? He's always speak the truth. He always say good word. He treat people nicely. And he give up, lot of things for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who get Allah reward him. Right? Another story I would like to end. When you give up something for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Imam Tabari, the one who wrote the Tafseer, he told a story that this young man, he found something on after Hajj on the like backpack. When you open it, there was like a necklace, like green necklace, and then we have diamond, so beautiful, right? So, in Islam, when you found something, you have to announce. So in Makkah is here. He said, I found this. Anybody, lost something, please let me know. So after the third day, somebody came. He said, do you know what inside? So he explained. Inside this. They said, use. It's old man. Anyone to give something? He said, no. This use, this take it. So he left. This young man, when he found it difficult to find job in Makkah, so he traveled. He traveled, ride the boat, and there was storm, and everybody was sank, and he was saved by just one wood into an island. To an island, and then he walking, he found like musalla that time, and he went there, he slept there. So in the morning, people came. When he saw this man, look like a pious man, can you lead us salah? Because the Imam passed away. I said, okay. He has beautiful voice also from Makkah. I said, man, can you stay here? Yeah, and we'll take care of everything. He said, okay, stay in the masjid. So after a few months, somebody came to him and said, man, you are alone here. Would like to get married? He said, man, I'm nothing. Don't worry. That, the Imam had died and he left behind his daughter. Right? We like to marry you can do. I said, okay. So they got married. And then, when he looked at his wife was wearing a necklace. He just look at this. He look at to her. Look at to. Hey, why you look at it? Subhanallah. He said, maybe last year I saw exactly like this. Amazing. Where? When I was in Makkah. I said, Subhanallah. I sure say, yeah. And then the old man came and I said, Allahu Akbar, he said. And people hear the Allahu Akbar. My father, when he came back, he always make dua. Ya Allah, please find for my daughter a husband like this man, like you. Subhanallah. Right? So in conclusion, that what you call from ayah 41 until 50 is talk about the dialogue between Ibrahim and his father. Ibrahim alayhi salam is so polite, he used all kind of method how to convince his father, but in the end his father was refused, right? And then Ibrahim had to give up, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed them with righteous son and grandson, and continue until from Ismail to Muhammad, right? The story of Ibrahim is very important to continue. We learn because this is the only prophet that mentioned in Salat, right? Kama sallaita ala Ibrahim. Because in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned Uswa Hasana, role model, only for two. Muhammad and Ibrahim alayhi salam. Yeah. So tomorrow, Monday, is the first of Dhul Hijjah, right? So inshallah, before we close, we'd like to mention a little bit about this month, right?
7 virtues of first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. 1. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears by it in the Holy Quran. 2. Dhul Hijjah is a month of sacredness and piety. 3. Best days to perform righteous deeds. 4. A combination of the prime acts of worship. 5. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala perfected the religion of Islam on the day of Arafah. 6. Expiations of sins. 7. Fasting during the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah equal to fasting for 1 year.
1 year, subhanAllah, right? The first one is Allah swear. Wal fadri wa layalin ash. When Allah swear with something that you want, hey, this is important day, right? Also, is the sacred month. In the Quran said, there is 12 months, and among them, minha arba'atun hurum, sacred month. Dhul Qi'dah, Dhul Hijjah, Muharram, and Rajab. What sacred month mean? Sacred month is, even the kafir during Rasulullah time, they stop war when Dhul Hijjah or Rajab came. They honored, and we have to be honored more. And also, anything you do in sacred month, Allah multiply the reward, right? Like we are now in Dhul Qi'dah also. And then he said, best day to perform righteous gift. If somebody offer you job for 10 days, and the salary will be $10 million, right? 10 days, $10 million. On that day, maybe you're going to have exam, right? Are you going to cancel the exam? Of course, man. Exam for 10 million, just 10 days. Or you get married. You're getting married. Are you guys married? Yeah. You said to your future wife, honey, 10 million, can you just wait for 10 days? Right? Subhanallah. So what Allah offers more than 10 million. In the hadith said, Ma min ayyamin al-amal salih fiha ahabbu ila Allah. There is no days which in it good deed more beloved to Allah than the other days. It means you pray, you fast, Allah will reward you, right? But it's not guaranteed Allah love it. When you do something for your parent, you can cook something, okay, he likes it. But you know that when you cook this kind of food, your parent like it. How you feel? Mom, you like it? Yeah. So imagine everything you do on that day, Allah love it. Only 10 days, very limited, right? Subhanallah. And then combination of prime act worship, right? Combination of fasting, combination of sadaqah, because during the Hajj time, right? Combination of praying, everything, right? And although this is the day of celebration, in the mountain of Arafat, Rasulullah said what? Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum. This day I perfected my religion. A Jew came to Umar, Ya Umar, if this ayah in our religion, we can make celebration. Umar said, yeah, we did. This was happened on Friday, or on the day of Arafat, the people make celebration. Expiation of sin, wipe off the sin. If you fast on the 9th of Arafat, Allah forgive what? Your sin in the past 1 year and the next year. Imagine how many sins you committed for 1 year. And fasting 17 hours. And then also the next year. Right? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, Inna lillahi la nafahat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have a special season of gift. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knew that we're not qualified to Jannah. If you compare between sin and good deed, even our good deed is not there. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always give us what? Certain opportunity, like Ramadan, last day of Ramadan, right? Or Arafat, many things. And among them, this the 10 days, right? And fasting during the 10 days of the Hijjah equal to fasting for 1 year. Imagine that. 1 day, 1 year. So we have what, 10 years fasting. Are you going to miss this? I don't think so. Right? Subhanallah. So what we have to do on this day?
The good deeds on the 10 days of Zulhijjah. 1. Do tawbah, repentance. Clean the heart, avoid sins. Fast from 1st to 9th of Zulhijjah. Fast on 9th of Zulhijjah only. Perform salat in Jama'ah on time. Do a lot of sunnah, nawafil, salah. Make a lot of zikr and dua and pray tahajjud. Give a lot of sadaqah. Be kind to your parents and relatives. Do qurbani on 10th, 13th of Zulhijjah.
Subhanallah. So of course, because this is the day that we get to talk to Allah, to make a lot of good deeds, but something become obstacle, is our sin. So therefore what? Make a lot of istighfar, tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like Adam alayhi salam, when he went to come back to Allah, what Allah said, رَبَّنَا ظَلَمْنَا أَنفُسَنَا وَإِن لَمْ تَغْفِرْ لَنَا. He do tawbah. Right? And then also clean the heart. Envy, jealousy, revenge. And also the sin between you and anybody. Because if this is the same, I always mention in the last time of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept everything unless you have some problem with your family. You cut off relationship. This will be. Remember Rasulullah said, why he fasting on Thursday? Because on Thursday, Allah, the angel present our good deed. Allah will accept somebody have bad relationship. So if you have something, call them, man, avoid sin. So minimize, watching Instagram and all this Facebook. It can distract you. If you can fast from from tomorrow until the 9, I think the Tuesday following one, because Ramadan Eid will be on Wednesday, on 28th of June, right? If you can, I think because difficult some people, fasting Monday tomorrow, and then Thursday, right? And then the next Monday, right? Yeah, so 3 days. So, because in the hadith said, Rasulullah even is not fasting all 9 days, right? So if you can fast, of course, right? 9 days is good. Yeah. Prefer salat in Jama'ah on time. So pray on time also, especially in Jama'ah, because imagine 27 and then it's beloved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanallah. Do a lot of sunnah nawafil, right? Before Fajr, before Dhuhr, after Dhuhr, pray duha, pray witir, right? Make dhikr. Because if you read the Quran, Allah mentioned in these days, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ فِي أَيَّامٍ مَّعْدُودَاتٍ. Remember Allah in the fixed days. This is the days, the 10 days, right? Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah. Many dhikr. You drive the car, you went to work. Why? Because your dhikr now, beloved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can you imagine that? Subhanallah on this day, different than Subhanallah that you do it now. Right? Allah. Right? Subhanallah. Pray tahajjud. I read the hadith. So pray tahajjud on these days, like you Qiyamul Layl on Ramadan, the last day of Ramadan. Allah. Right? And then give lots sadaqah. Right? So that means 10 days, don't miss even 1 day. Sadaqah. Go to masjid, see the poor. No, you can send Zayla, whatever. But don't miss it. Why? Because that sadaqah is not like other days. So they're called the beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanallah. You know, be kind to your parents. This is the opportunity. Ask dua from them. You know, especially if your parent is old already. You know, in the Quran said, وَإِمَّا بَلَغَ إِنْدَكَ الْكِبَرُ. When your parent reach the age of old, it said, indaka, have to be with you, or you with them. Right? Of course, some people might be your parents in their country. Call them. No. Because the parents just want to hear your voice. Just want to see you. Right? And also relative also, or sibling in all this. And the last one, do qurbani. You know, after the Eid, or we have 3 days and 13 of Dhul Hijjah. Right? Because in the Sunnah also, when you do qurbani, you watch when slaughtering. Because when Fatima, you know, he do qurbani, Rasulullah said, Fatima, go watch. Because the drop of the blood will wipe out your sin. Right? That's the Sunnah.
The Eid sacrifice, Qurbani of Eid al-Adha. One person in the household should offer sacrifice. Sheep, goats, cattle, and camels can be slaughtered. Camels and cows can be divided among 7 people. The animals must have reached the minimum age. They shouldn't have any defects or flaws. Ideal time for sacrifice is after Eid prayer. The meat should be divided into 3 parts, 1 part each for household, acquaintances, and charity.
So one family, like a father, for example, can sacrifice for all family. So Rasulullah used to say, this is for me and my family, right? And then also because he had 100 camel at that time, for my people who are unable to afford it. No, it's guaranteed. Yeah. So it had to be sheep, goat, or cattle, yeah, camel, no chicken, or rabbit. Let's not consider the sacrifice. yeah, camel for 7 people, right? And the ulama have different opinion, but majority is wajib if you are able to afford it, right? And then one third you can eat it, and the other one you can give to family or yeah.
Sunnah on Eid al-Adha. Ghusl. Have a bath. Ghusl. Some consider it mustahib. Best dress and fragrance. Dressed up. Best available clothes. Use fragrance if available. Eating after performing the Eid prayer. Takbirat. Recite Takbirat with 13 Zilhajj, time of Asr. Different routes. Use 2 separate routes to and from the prayer ground. Some other practices, wajib, masnoon, or mustahib. Going to prayer ground on foot. Offer Eid prayer in congregation in an open place. Sacrifice animal after offering Eid prayer. Eat its meat and also feed needy and beggars.
SubhanAllah. And in some people, basically in Islam, it said Eid al-Adha is something bigger than the Eid of Eid al-Fitr. So that means we have to also pay attention, right? Because they get it from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah. So we have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that make us able, inshallah, to observe all ibadat and sunnah during these 10 days, right? Pray the scene, make special days, right? And inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also and give us long life, we can also celebrate the Eid. Yeah.
He, Ismail, said, O my father, do as you are commanded. If Allah wills, you shall find me of the patient.
Yeah. Sacrifice because of this man. Right? Ismail. When his father said, what do you think, son? I said, oh my father, do as you are commanded. You know, if now the father came to his son, I'm sorry, I have to kill you. What will be the reaction of the son? What did you eat last night, Dad? I will call 911. Look at, because Ibrahim ready to give up, Allah ransomed them with the 2 lambs, remember that, from Jannah. No, and then both of them they came married until now. You know, one of dua Ibrahim alayhis salam, right? He said, "Waj'alna lisana sidqin fil akhirin." Allah, please, when people remember my name, you know, remember the goodness. What I need sacrifice. Subhanallah. Yeah. So inshallah we'll be break until after Eid, right? Because I think we need to focus doing the what you call the ibadah during this time. Yeah. Any question?
I have one question.
Yeah.
If you can't fast for health reasons, what can you do?
You will get reward, inshallah. If ya Allah, I want to fast, ya Allah, but you know, because of that intention, because in the hadith said, innamal amalu bin niyat. Action is just by intention, right?
But
in
Ramadan, if you can't fast, you can feed the poor.
Good.
Do you have to do the same thing?
No, because that's one wajib. Sunnah did not have this kind of stuff. But maybe because I cannot fast, so I will increase my sadaqah. That's also good in the place, right? Inshallah. Yeah. But still, you will get the same reward, inshallah. Because you know, Allah, I want it, but you know, my situation. Right? Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, inshallah. How's your health, son? How's your health? Your wife health?
We are good now. We are good.
Good, huh? MashaAllah. Yeah. Inshallah. So inshallah, Eid Mubarak. Taqabbal minna minkum, inshallah. Right?
Which day will be back?
No, I'm here.
No, which day Tafseer?
Tafseer will be after the Eid, inshallah. Sunday after the Eid.
Okay.
That will be, I think, the 2nd of July. July 2nd, yeah. Inshallah. Sure. Oh, wait a minute. July 2nd, I'm going to Boston. Yeah. I will, no, inshallah. Yeah. I'm going to Boston July 2nd. And then I'm going to Indonesia. Yeah. Maybe I can start when I'm in Indonesia. Because we can do Zoom. Inshallah. Please forgive me, inshallah. Forgive if I did something wrong.
And us also, please.
Inshallah. Together.
Sama-sama, mohon maaf lahir batin.
Sama-sama, inshallah. ربنا لك الحمد جلال وجهك وعظيم اسمك اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى صحبه اجمعين اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وقنا عذاب النار اللهم اجعلنا بلغنا الى عشر ذي الحجه وبلغنا الى عيد الاضحى ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب النار ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصلى الله وسلم الحمد لله رب العالمين آمين